Hello, and thank you for joining us for today's broadcast. This broadcast is a product of Shry Media, LLC. Unauthorized use, sale, or redistribution of this media in any form is strictly prohibited without the express written consent of Shry Media. Radio and television mediums are encouraged to reach out. Thank you for tuning in. Enjoy the game.
Kids across America are going to school hungry. Millions of kids every day. But one simple thing can help change all of this for a hungry child in America. Good, healthy food and the energy it brings. With help from caring people across America, No Kid Hungry is providing healthy meals and hope to hungry kids so they can build better futures. To learn more about ending child hunger in America, go to helpnokidhungry.org today.
They have to score here. We're getting underway for it. Walk-off home run.
Here's a shot to the right side.
This is shaping up to be.
Here's a straight right side too. Inside of East Hamilton High School. So glad you're joining us and along for the ride for what promises to be an instant classic. This one on paper looks like a barn burner. I'm Gabriel Shry. Glad you're along for the ride. Shortly, Andy Webb will join me as an analyst for our coverage tonight of prep basketball here in Southeast Tennessee. The Bradley Bears are 12-8 this season. This boys program lost last time out, and they're going to take on a team that has won 9 in a row. 9 wins straight, 12-2 overall, East Hamilton High School Hurricanes. And the home and away record is very compelling in this matchup. East Hamilton 7-1 here on this hardwood. The Bears are 4-3 on the road this season. It makes for a very tough matchup for Bradley Central, and it promises to be a barn burner for us here in Southeast Tennessee. Welcome. Glad you're along for the ride, and I can only hope you enjoy this as much as we'll enjoy bringing it to you. I'm Gabriel Shry. Andy Webb will be with me shortly, and in just moments we're awaiting an official delay down on the floor. We'll throw it to Garrett Bergner, who will give you the starters in tonight's matchup for the Bears and for the Hurricanes. Right now getting some final changes in at that scorer's table, and he'll walk us through this. That's the Bears you're looking at, and the Hurricanes down on the left side of your screen. Bradley Central wearing their gold road uniforms. East Hamilton wearing their white home uniforms. We now have Garrett Bergner for introductions.
Welcome to East Hamilton High School for tonight's district matchup between the Bradley Bears and your East Hamilton Hurricanes. This contest is being played according to the rules of TSSAA. Good sportsmanship is one of the primary purposes of high school athletics. Fans can help promote good sportsmanship sportsmanship are refraining from derogatory remarks or cheers directed at coaches and officials. NCAA hopes you will enjoy this contest and support your athletes and your high school in a positive and sportsmanlike manner. And now, introducing the starting lineups. First for the visiting team on the scoreboard, wearing the gold shorts, the gold jerseys, with the black numerals and trim. They are the Bradley Central Bears. Number 1, Caden Baldwin. Number 21, Miriam Taylor. Number 22, Hunter Fields. Number 23, Tyrese Stovall. And number 33, Andrew Walker. And now for the home team on the scoreboard, wearing all white. The white shorts, the white jerseys with white numerals trimmed in green. They are the East Hurricanes. Number 0, Peyton Harris. Number 4, Josiah Wiley. Number 15, Peyton Hunter. Number 21, Jack Pendleton. And number 23, Miles Willingham.
Welcome back, Andy Webb here with me now. I'm Gabriel Fry, glad you're with us. Just under the student section, see if I can't point at that banner. And we're going to have a good ride tonight. Excited to be bringing you all the action for this one. Andy, we're saying hello to Mr. Eller, the principal here at East Hamilton High School. Andy, talk to me a little bit about this matchup before we get started real quick.
This is going to be a great matchup. Obviously, top 2 teams in the conference. So this is looks like we're starting with a technical foul. Maybe something for warm-ups here. But anyway, yeah, so top 2 teams in the conference, this should be an absolute shootout, Gabriel. And I'd imagine it'd be a pretty fast-paced game here. I'd say 2 keys for East Hamilton tonight, the host team. I'd say they need to, offensively, they need to push the basketball and find shooters in transition. I think they really push the basketball in Bradley. And I think defensively, they're going to probably they're going to have to keep Bradley off the glass because they've got a lot of size, as you can see on the field.
So Bradley Central capitalizes on the start with the tech, and it's 2-0 as we get underway. That's unusual, scoring before we even start in Ottawa as the Bears will begin with possession of the orange. Over the midcourt stripe, a long pass shoveled down towards the corner, and he loses it at the line. Bradley Central back out to the front court and working the ball around. Looking to go down low is for Miriam Taylor. Taylor, the one who took those shots. From the corner, 3-ball rims out on it.
Yeah, Gabriel, you see that's Bradley. So Ramirion Taylor is going to get downhill in a hurry, and he creates for everyone. So the new age Boston Celtics, if you will, he gets down, breaks the defense down, and hits it for a wide open corner
3. 3-ball from the wing is buried for the Bears of Bradley Central. Long ball down the floor for the Hurricanes, and he's all alone as he kisses in and off of the glass to bring us back within 3.
Yeah, Caden Baldwin, a nice 3 off a pin-down screen. He had hit a back screen and then came off another screen, and then we get Jack Pendleton for East Hamilton on the run out.
Nice fight down along the edge of the paint there. Tries to fight his way down inside to the backboard and draws the foul. So headed to the line is Tyrese Stovall.
Yeah, you know, Gabriel, Jack Pendleton is a little bit of a legacy. So Cade Pendleton, 6'10", Cade at UC San Diego now. It's his younger brother. And nice job of Jack getting out in transition there to finish on the layup.
Cade Pendleton, he was so good. And he played for you here at East Hamilton High School.
Yes, sir, he did. He was really recruited by everybody. He was just a joy to coach and a great kid and great player.
How's he doing at UC San Diego?
Doing great. Loves it up there, getting time, and they're actually number one in their conference. We may see him in the NCAA tournament later this year.
East Hamilton works this around the front court. Hurricanes shovel it to the corner. Back to the wing, and he loses it. So in a 4-point game, 6:1 to go in our first still, Bradley Central takes back over with the ball.
Yeah, and just a unforced error there by East Hamilton early. Got a little nerves in these big conference games, so that's to be expected early.
Big conference games is right. Hunter Field shakes his way around the perimeter, and the three ball has too much as it comes off the heel of the iron. East Hamilton running the floor down the boardwalk with good pace. Peyton Hunter off the top of the backboard. I like the look. Hunter gets a nice pass down inside and just can't quite bring it all together with a finishing move.
Yeah, Gabriel, and that's exactly what they want to do. Peyton Hunter comes down to kick to Peyton Harris, who is a sniper. And East Hamilton has 2 or 3 snipers out there where they're going to try to get down court in a hurry and let it fly tonight.
Nice entry pass, down on the baseline, off the glass, clatters off the heel of the iron, and somehow Bradley keeps the possession alive. He was wide open, knifing his way down into the paint and gets it to go, putting it home off the backboard.
Got to delay a game there on Bradley for grabbing the basketball after the bucket. Can't do that in high school. That's an NBA move, Gabriel. Ramirion's excited there, just grabbing it to get back to the referee, but that's a delay a game.
You talked about how important this is to the standings. In 4A District 6, Bradley Central, East Hamilton tied for the top spot. Identical records. Both have started undefeated 2-0. Slow start, obviously, at the end of the year. You got to get a couple games at a time and see how things shake out. But Bradley Central an edge in overall games, a dozen wins. East Hamilton's 12-2. East Hamilton on a remarkable 9-game winning streak. Ottawa third in the standings. They're 1-2 in district play, and following them, Howard Tech. Off and running, and as he shovels the ball backside the violation, this one is going to be ticky-tacky.
Yeah, and you had the big man for Bradley there, Tyler Stovall, getting downhill and just trying to forcing a little bit. He's 6'9" and felt like he was a point guard tonight.
And the travel took an extra step, and Howard Price doesn't like it. East Hamilton is catching all the fouls in this first period. They start off with a violation and the tackle out before we even tip.
Yeah, and Coach Pride saw that right in front of the bench, so you think he has something there. He's pretty frustrated with that call, but it was right in front of him. He had a good look at it.
Now that's a great hustle play down on the baseline, diving for it. Miles Willingham, he can't keep it alive. Coach, this is your first time broadcasting a game at the school, right?
Yes, Gabe, and I'm honored to do it with the legend here tonight, so thanks for having me.
He's free, down the hard one, and ladles home the orange off of the glass. It's a 4-point game with 5.5 to go in the first.
Yeah, big bucket by the junior, Peyton Hunter. He got with defensive pressure and turned it into a bucket.
East Hamilton snaps the short run of Bradley. Mid-range floater, beautiful ball by Baldwin.
Yeah, Caden Baldwin, he's a lengthy wing, about 6'5", and slasher, 3-point shooter. He can hurt you in a lot of ways. I'll tell you what, he comes to the rim and he gets up in a hurry.
Ooh, a collision with our official. Hopefully they're both all right. Caught him right in the knees, and he's back on his feet and looks to be okay. Very thankful to see that. Wow, that is unusual.
His first, team first.
Take another look at the collision.
Around that sideline, too. You think they hit knees?
It was just an awkward collision. I thought his chest was going right for his knees, and at first I thought the worst had happened, but he's up and laughing it off with Coach Price. 5 minutes to go in our first. Canes from the corner, the 3-ball. He can't knock it down. Bears get the board out of the air. It's Stovall who gets us started. Ramirian.
Got to stop the ball here when Ramirian has it.
Taylor out to the straightaway. And he got caught taking that extra step.
Hey, you know what? You see a great coach over there on the sideline for East Hamilton. Coach Pride's happy now because he let the ref know he didn't appreciate the same call going against him that they got away with, and now they just evened the score up on that travel for Bradley.
10-4. So far, Bradley looking very good. Zach Carpenter, the bench boss for the Bears, and he's been at the helm of this program for a long time, and I know you're a fan of his as well.
Yeah, Zach does a great job. He likes to run a lot of half-court actions, and he'll get great spacing on offense, and his team can really execute.
How about the long ball, knocking that one down from the parking lot with 4:20 to play in the first period.
Yeah, very nice pull-up from Josiah Wiley there. He saw space and came up and nailed it.
Bradley rotating around the perimeter, looking for that entry pass, but Taylor will try it from the straightaway, and it's just a bit too much.
Yeah, Bradley did nice action there with a diagonal screen down to the block and then a pin down screen to screen the screener. That's a tough switch for East Hamilton, but they trailed the shooter pretty well there. Gave him a little bit of interference, made him go off left.
Coach, as a broadcaster, I want to know who bought these jerseys. East Hamilton.
It's a little different seeing it from up here, isn't it?
On the wing.
It's a great question.
Willingham out to the straightaway. What a spin move. Wide open lane, and he just can't finish.
Yeah, great move from Josiah there. Just a little short.
Bradley, the long ball down the floor, trying to keep it alive, and this one just skeeters over the sideline. Wiley couldn't pick it back up.
Yeah, that was a veteran move from Peyton Harris there to cut off the sideline on the deep pass. He almost caused the turnover there. I'll tell you, the big difference in this game, and I think in most games, when you control the glass, obviously, but you've also, the turnover game, right? So I think live ball turnovers to see which team can really capitalize off of those turnovers and turn them into transition points tonight. So it's been back and forth, a little bit wild to start, but I think there's a lot of nerves in this one.
Including their 10 points tonight, 1,228 scored on offense by this Bradley Central program. They've only allowed about 950.
Wow.
We'll call it 964 with the 6 tonight. Very, very productive. Very tight defensively, and you can see how they've gotten this far and been this good throughout the course of the season on plays just like that, knifing his way down inside, fighting through traffic, and able to draw the foul in the process.
Yeah, Gabe, that was you got a handoff through a double ball screen, tough switch, and anytime Romarion, we talked about pregame, anytime he can get downhill, it's a lot of trouble. So he's a downhill player, has the float game, can finish around the rim, and really streaky. He off the bounce, he's a really tough three-point shooter as well. So anytime they can get Romarion downhill, that's trouble.
Caden Baldwin, Tyrese Stovall, and Ramirian here, who's at the free throw line. All three are getting offers, being recruited. Both still enjoying that process, or all three of them rather.
Yeah, it's a heck of a big three.
Running the floor is Wiley. He's got a lot of room in a lane and tried to knife his way inside. He doesn't get the basket, but he does go to the stripe.
Josiah Wiley's been very aggressive to start, and he's another kid who's a slasher and really wants to get to the rim. But great job from Josiah, from the senior coming out and just really attacking from the start. He's going to try to put a couple Bradley Bears in foul trouble and just be aggressive.
Wiley, no. Bears pull it in and they'll run the floor. He's going to go all the way, tries to find the twine and can't. Gaines, double team, somehow got that away and can't hit it from the top of the paint. Nice shovel pass down to the corner. Taylor dicing it up. And Coach Carpenter making a change all the way back on the front court near the midcourt stripe. Good rotation, Baldwin.
Yeah, and I'll tell you what, Gabriel, very nice defense there from Donovan Harris to cut the drive off from the senior there. Donovan's going to have to carry a big load tonight guarding the ball, and he just came over and cut the ball off on that drive. That was a very nice play.
Two and a quarter to play in our first, where it's 11-6, a 5-point game between the Hurricanes and the Bears. The Bears out in front. knifing his way through traffic and the ball taken away. Yo-yoing the rock down the side of the floor. Bradley Central trying for the fast break points. Fans want to call and they don't get it. We play on as Ramirian Taylor is twisting his way along the front of the bench and draws the whistle.
Yeah, it's been a little helter-skelter here early, and I think it's just like I said, you got high school kids in a big game, and the effort has been outstanding. The speed and effort on the court right now is really something.
I mentioned it during the pregame. East Hamilton outstanding at home. 7-1 here on this boardwalk. Bradley Central is just 4-3 on the road, Andy. Bears on the elbow. Popped it outside, wide open, and he can't knock it down. Hurricanes picking their way back down the floor. Shoveled out to the wing. Ball's lost. Inside of 90 seconds to play in our first from East Hamilton High School as he knifes his way down inside and places that one home into the twine.
Hey, it's good to get the crowd on the feet early. Donovan Harris slashing to the hoop there and one. Finishes on the opposite side of the rim. Uses the rim almost as a defender between him and the shot blocker. Great move from Donovan Harris.
11-8. A three-point game, and Harris can cut it to within two. Yes. Two points separate us in Ottawa, Tennessee. Take another look at the play. That's Harris right there. Three ball from the wing, off the mark for Bradley Central. Canes, fast break points on the table. He's all alone down inside and kisses it home off the glass.
Great push there. Great rebound from Brandon McCroskey, and then got it out to a guard, Jacob Hefner, very quickly. Great outlet pass up the court from Anderson Dawson there.
11-all inside of our last minute of the first as this one is floated home to give that one possession lead right back to Bradley Central.
Yeah, Ramirion there, Gabe, with the run killer, that tough floater.
Great play down along the baseline. Tries again. Ball is loose and goes out of play, skatering back towards the locker rooms. East Hamilton opened their season with a 73-46 win over Collegedale Academy, set the tone. Their largest win against Chattanooga School of Arts and Sciences, 74-65. And the violation against the Bears. They're going to give it back to East Hamilton with 13 seconds in our first.
Yeah, Gabe, it looks to be close to 7 or 8 turnovers already for the Bradley Bears just in the first quarter. And a lot of them look unforced, but East Hamilton, you got to give credit to Coach Pride and East Hamilton for applying that defensive pressure on the basketball. I think that's really affected them tonight.
Running the floor, the Canes, 5 seconds, rotating. Here's the shot from mid-range, 2 ball off the mark. And he just chucks this one down to the other end of the floor as the buzzer sounds. So after one period, it's 13-11 in control in the lead. The Bradley Central Bears will be back with more from Ottawa, Tennessee. Back for our second period in Ottawa, Tennessee, where it's a one-possession game. The Bears holding a narrow 2-point margin after that first period. I'm Gabriel Schrei here with Andy Webb. Glad you're along with us for what promises to be a really good game. Called it a barn burner during the open. I'm still sticking with it. This is going to be an instant classic right down to the wire tonight.
Instant classic, Gabe. We may see this next week on ESPN Classic here. I'll tell you, it was a fast start, and I think East Hamilton did a great job of getting the Bradley Bears to play their game. They applied a lot of ball pressure and set down underneath and tried to keep the ball penetration limited in the half court from Bradley. I'll tell you, though, Ramirion Taylor was a big difference in some of those run killers.
from the wing. He wanted to hit that from a step beyond the arc.
Yeah, boy, he pulled that from deep.
Talk about a heat check. Okay, so here's a good one for you. How do you feel about a good heat check from like way back like that? Does that, as a coach, does that upset you?
You know, it depends on the situation of the player, really. You know, some players have the ultimate green light, and you know the work they put in, so you trust some players more than others. But, yeah, I was a shooter, so I love a great heat check, Gabe.
Passing clinic. Bears end up coming away with the ball. No damage done by the Canes.
They had unscathed there, and, you know, Bradley's setting up here. They want to come around to a ball screen on Stovall. I imagine they were talked to it timeout or between the quarters there from Coach Carpenter about punching it inside a little more.
Automatic. How about that pull-up? Buries it, 15-11.
East Hamilton's had no answer for Marion Taylor so far on the defensive end there.
East Hamilton only 2 losses this season on December 3rd and 5th. First against Tyner Academy, then Walker Valley. Since then, undefeated, 9 straight. Off the mark, and the Canes get the rebound. Good board work early.
Great kick ahead.
Long outlet feed, tries it off the bottom of the backboard. Orange is loose, scooped up by the Bears.
Going to stop the ball with Marion.
Bradley Central, packed by Wiley. My goodness, look out.
Great effort play there from Josiah Wiley. If we see that again, he comes all the way over from the opposite wing, Gabe, and makes just an unbelievable effort play here.
Take another look at that block. Really, really nice effort play down inside. Bradley Central with possession and a 4-point advantage. 3 ball from the wing, too much.
Yes, so Bradley, the rebound there. Bradley comes out.
Almost had a 4th chance with the ball, but the violation along the edge of the low paint.
Yeah, we talked about keys of the game. Got to keep Bradley off the glass. Coach Pride, I know he's preached all week to him to sit underneath, limit live ball turnovers for transition, and to keep them off the glass. I'll tell you what, Bradley comes out with a nice set from the side there and runs Marion Taylor through an elevator screen for a wide open 3. Just couldn't convert there, but they do crash hard.
This early lead for Bradley Central, it's uncharacteristic to see East Hamilton trailing like this. Their last win was a 20-point victory on the 21st just a few days ago, 63-43 over Chattanooga Central. But East Hamilton has been as good as they've ever been on defense this season. They've held 7 opponents under 50 points.
That's impressive. They really guard, really get up in you. And tonight, I mean, they're fighting down there. They're having a tough time with Bradley on the offensive boards right now, but they're fighting.
Couple of handoffs, blown tire, it's regathered. Peyton Harris distributed to the wing. Around the perimeter, Harris trying to evade the defender, Goldston. Gets down along the baseline, shoveled to the far end of the floor. Wiley, shot clock winding, this one off the mark.
They must stop the ball for Marion Taylor. He's going to go straight to the rack.
Wow, what a move. He just takes that along the edge of the block. Easy money off the glass at 17-11.
Yeah, and you know, Coach Proud's yelling the same thing we were, just got to stop the basketball a little higher there. I'll tell you, Bradley with Coach Carpenter, they're doing a good job also finding those shooters in transition. You see how tight they are up on Miles Willingham and Peyton Harris. They're not letting them get a touch right now.
Baldwin almost with an unbelievable play. East Hamilton gets it back. Shoveled to the corner, 3 ball is short. Off the side of the iron, running with the ball and 3 is Stovall. Tries to go back door, and Josiah Wiley with another steal. Wiley wanted to sidestep the defender, and Carson Cannon catches him on the shoulder.
Yes, Stovall tried to, he's a very athletic big. He was on the side, I think, again. He handles it well for a big man, but just way out in the open. Tried to force that into Caden Baldwin a little bit. Both those guys can get up with bad intentions and really throw down on you with force. But he tried to squeeze that one in there a little too tight of a window.
There's a look at that great steal by Josiah Wiley. He was running free, and Cannon caught him. Inbounding feed from the baseline. Harris trying to get around Baldwin, sends it to the straightaway, and East Hamilton will take their time.
Coach Pride's trying to get Peyton Harris some space with a double baseline screen there.
Ball will stay with the Hurricanes. Well played defensively from behind by Hunter Fields. Talk to me about the pacing of this matchup so far. You know, how important is controlling the tempo? Is it everything in a game like this?
I think set the tone's a big part, Gabe. Yeah, I think on offense and defense you have to set the tone, and we always wanted to be, with our teams, we wanted to be the ones who dictated all the action, whether it was offense or defense. I think it's a huge deal.
Wow, knifes his way all the way down the edge of the block, and Tyrese Stovall, heavily contested, makes the play.
I'll tell you, Gabe, that's a really nice Euro step from a 6'8", 6'9" high school player. That's tough.
What a run right now for Bradley Central. A 7-2 run over the last 4 minutes of play for the Bears.
Yeah, I think a lot of time in big high school games, you see the defensive pressure and the effort on these big games. Everybody has a scouting report this late in the season, very detailed scouting report, and I think you sometimes see the offense struggle a little bit to start the game, and that's what we've seen here tonight.
Bradley Central back underway over the midcourt stripe. Cannon bowled his way to the top of the block before sending it back out to the perimeter. Bears entry pass is stolen away out of the air by East Hamilton, who's running, looking for fast break points. Backdoor feed, he's all alone and kisses it home off of the glass.
Nice pass. Peyton Hunter on the help side there. He came in and took the high-low pass away from Bradley, went down, made a nice bounce pass for a finish.
That bust up a really nice run the Bears had going, 7-2 over the course of 4 minutes and change. Bradley Central looking to get another run going. They've had a couple of nice ones so far tonight. And the whistle down from the baseline.
I think we must have gotten an illegal screen here.
Offensive foul against Baldwin.
Indeed it is. Caden Baldwin catches the call.
Yeah, Bradley ran off a stagger screen there. Then they ran off another pin down. There were a plethora of screens, and I think one of them, Caden just didn't get set on the last one.
19-13, a 6-point ball game. 3 minutes to play in our first half. East Hamilton, he goes all the way, trying to take it home off the glass.
East Hamilton doing a good job sprinting back to the paint and then opening up and finding the basketball and the shooters here. That was a very good execution defensively, transition defense from the scout report there.
Hunter Fields from just inside the perimeter, he kicked it across. And now this one going to draw a violation.
Well, and that really hurts too, Gabe, because that's 2 in a row on Caden Baldwin, the senior for Bradley, who is a heck of a player. He can do everything, and he just picked up 2 cheap ones in a row, and now he's going to the bench. Great effort there by Anderson Dawson.
Audio-visual program at East Hamilton High School is one of the best in the state of Tennessee, if not one of the best in America. How about this setup by Scott Moore, who teaches here at East Hamilton High School, and his son tonight, Jacob Moore, actually helping him out in the control room, running replay and graphics.
Gabriel, it's top notch. It's top shelf, and you guys, just the way it's advanced over the years was always so exciting for the team, the players. It's great.
Off the mark on the 3 ball. It's really cool for me to come back and see these students getting an opportunity to get hands-on with real television production equipment, what you'd see on an ESPN+, ESPNU, ESPN3 production.
It's terrific, and you know, you've called so many great football, basketball, baseball, softball, everything seasons, and it's so great to have you back.
Menacing play by Tyrese Stovall, and Coach Pride does not like it.
Yeah, I think Josiah Wiley, he was trying to take a charge there, but then had to make a business decision and just kind of fall out of the way because Stovall came up with real bad intentions on that one. I tell you, Josiah's a gritty player. He's a tough kid too. I mean, the fact that he's down there at 5'10", 5'11", guarding a 6'8" kid on the block, that's just the type of heart Josiah Wiley has. I'll tell you, too, these officials, I think, as far as letting the coaches talk and suggest, and the captains, you can see them with conversation. They seem to be keeping their composure in a big environment right now. Now, I don't know if I was on the sideline if I'd be confident in the officials.
You'd be agreeing, yeah. I have to say, I usually tend, especially from up here, to try and err on the side of caution and give very – if ever. I don't remember the last time I criticized an official. Can't imagine a harder job than trying to see everything going on and keep everyone happy.
It's the new year, Gabe, and I think we're both just trying to turn over a new leaf here.
East Hamilton running the floor, trailing by 9.
My strategy with officials was always build, break, build, so you have to compliment early.
The Bears have outscored East Hamilton 10-4 in this second period. Nice move, had some space off the glass, and the violation down inside as he'll go to the stripe.
And I was really worried that call was going to go the other way, Gabe, but that's a great job of the official in position because Bradley had stepped up to take the charge on Donovan Harris there, but he just did not get completely in front of him and have position, so that's a great call. I tell you, Donovan Harris is a very athletic guard. The way that kid has developed in the last 2 years, I saw him at practice yesterday, and just 2 years ago when I coached him as a sophomore, he is bigger, stronger, and he is so quick. Romarion Taylor, you have him on one end. He's so hard to stay in front of. On the other end, Donovan Harris for East Hamilton, he's created a lot tonight. And Bradley was applying pretty intense ball pressure. He handled it and beat his defender right there.
Bradley Central got off to a hot start, a 20-point win over Silverdale Baptist Academy, 50-30. That was way back on November 21st. 4 days later, they had their largest win of the season, 82-32 against Sequatchie County. Dominated from start to finish in that one.
Yeah, they've had just such a terrific year. Coach Pride's first year. The kids really like Coach Pride. They're playing so hard for him. And he's brought in experience from coaching at Belmont under legendary Rick Byrd. He's been to Alabama under Mark Guthrie, and he's been at several large high schools. Came from a 6A high school in Alabama. Just has great experience. These kids see it.
North Alabama school, right?
Yeah, he's just out of Huntsville, and had he was at Mae Jemison, a 6A there, and had a lot of really good teams. Sent a lot of kids to college, and just has a ton of experience coaching and developing young kids. And he's such a good. I've gotten to know him off the court, and he's such a good person off the court. And I think he got two really good coaches tonight going at it, and just couldn't speak highly enough of either one of them.
30 seconds ago, East Hamilton went to the line, cut a big run by the Bradley Central Bears with 2 points. Now they convert their first on this trip. That's a look at Coach right there.
Hey, shout out to East Hamilton assistant principal and athletic director on the bench over here helping them out tonight. Coach Booker stepped in tonight, and he's helping out with this team. Coach Pride's first year, and Coach Booker's got a whole lot of coaching experience as well, from Chattanooga State to all over the place. Tyner head coach, state tournament appearance, so they've got a lot of experience over there.
Keitha might be the GOAT. He could be. He could be. He's up there.
You know, he just ages in reverse, too.
I'm telling you.
He amazes me.
He looks younger than I do. 60 seconds sharp left in our first half, 22-16, so we're within 6. East Hamilton a chance to make this a one-possession game.
Here we have intense ball pressure in the backcourt again on Donovan Harris.
Harris tried to knife his way inside, and they'll turn the ball over to the Bears. Keandre Butts really playing some good, tight defense.
Gabe, I'll tell you, he is. And now they got him with a 5-second violation there on Donovan. So the defender was in. Donovan kept that dribble for 5 seconds and just could not separate a couple feet from the defender. So great defense from Bradley Central.
3/4 of a minute left to play in this first half.
Yeah, Bradley looks like they may want the last shot here. And East Hamilton, you may see them get up, apply a little pressure here, see how they play it. It's so hard to stay in front of Marion Taylor, so they've got to be careful.
Way back on the front court in front of the scorer's table is Taylor, who floats it across to Butts.
Coach Pride's calling to turn up the pressure. I like it. They're going to make it hard on Bradley here to hold for the last shot.
From the front court, Taylor drives, heavily defended from both sides, shoveled to the corner, 7 seconds on the clock. Bears driving from the top of the paint off the mark. 3 seconds, 2, 1. He got the shot off in time, but it's just short for the Hurricanes. And so a 2-possession game, 6 points separate these two after 2 periods of play. Andy, your initial feelings after watching that first half?
I'll tell you, when you saw the last possession with East Hamilton there, they come in and really make it hard and disrupt Bradley, and that's kind of been the tell of the game from both teams. I think the defenses have really, the scout is so specific at this point. They've everybody's staying with their assignment. East Hamilton has 2 or 3 shooters that can get loose on you and just change the game in 2 or 3 minutes, and Bradley hasn't let some of those guys like Peyton Harris, they haven't let those guys touch the ball. So I think defensively, the effort's been great. A lot of transition back and forth off of steals. I think the defense has done a great job of shutting down the offense. Now, I will say the Bradley Bears' offensive rebounding has been tough. And I think at halftime they'll address that with East Hamilton, just keeping Bradley off the boards. But, yeah, just a great, very competitive game. The speed and athleticism out here is so tough to stay in front of, and the defense is doing a great job right now.
A lot more great action coming up, more analysis. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back with more from our halftime break. Value, so welcome back into the box. Gabe Schrei, Andy Webb here with me. Andy, we're talking about how important those runs are, and it's really a cliche, but I think the average fan isn't aware of how important a run is in the game of basketball. Talk to me about that.
Absolutely. Basketball is a game of matchups, and it's a game of runs. And I think you see this time of the year down to the tournament, you'll see momentum shift in just a second. And I think both teams, they're fighting so hard just for that momentum. And I'll tell you what, Gabe, that's a great point, because the third quarter as a coach, and the message in the locker room is always there are quarters you have to win. You have to win the first 4 or 5 minutes in the first quarter and the first 4 or 5 minutes in the third quarter. And I think if you can come out and hit them in the third, that's a message both teams are getting right now.
We've got Coach Eric Baird. Am I doing it? You can do it if you want. No? All right, we're going to get Coach Baird here with me. Coach Baird just battled the Bears of Bradley Central High School. Coach, how are you?
Doing good.
Good to have you here. Talk to me about, you've had a really, really good season this year with your program. Talk to me about some of your key players and how they've contributed on the floor.
Well, it starts with our 2 seniors, Ari Calhoun. She's been with us, been with me for 2 years now, and she kind of directs the offense, and the offense kind of goes with her. And then Talia LeBou. She's a good presence in the inside. So my 2 seniors, they're kind of the catalyst for our team, and Bradley's Bradley. It's one of the best teams, and I've been watching Bradley girls basketball since I was in high school there in the early 90s. This is probably the best team I've ever seen. So the one thing about tonight is the girls gave all they can. They gave effort. They didn't drop their heads. They went in and battled, and even though, the score was kind of lopsided, I think that this is really just one little battle in the war. So as far as, the rest of my personnel, junior Alexis Price, point guard, Jay Price from Tennessee, his daughter. Just a wonderful kid, great kid. She's actually officiates for me on the weekends. She's a great official. She really does a great job running the offense, keeping us in stroke. So, what she does for us is invaluable. And then the sophomore class, Kayla Hilvers, she scores a lot of points for us. She's a pretty good soccer player too, but she's got probably the best hands I've ever had for a soccer player. So she gets out in press and gets out in transition. She can score it. So a couple other sophomores, Kirby Eller and Ivy Cooper White, they do a lot for us also. So we're 12-9 now. We've had our whole team maybe 2 or 3 games this year, all starting 5. We've had some injuries and things like that. So we'll hopefully get them all together. We had a big win against Ooltewah last Saturday night at their place by 16. So Bradley's Bradley, and we're just trying to get prepared for district play here in the tournament mid-February and see if we can make a little run. We've got 2 teams we beat before that'll possibly be our quarterfinal opponent in region. If we can beat Ooltewah in the semifinals of district, and then that'll put us up against Cleveland, or most likely Cleveland in the region semifinals for a chance for sub-state. So everything's lining up. This late in the season, you like to see that. You like to see your kids buying in. You like to see the excitement. You can see here in the gym tonight just a great crowd for Bradley, watching 2 teams fighting for supremacy in District 6. So really fun time here at East Hamilton.
No kidding. And, Coach, you've taken a program that it never really felt like it was in the dumps. It's always been a very good girls basketball program, but you've taken it and powered it to new heights, and it's been more consistent and lots of great fundamental things going on across the floor. That's kind of why I asked about the personnel. What was that turnaround like for you, and what's it like leading the program day to day?
Well, this is probably the third time I've had to rebuild a program, and not that it needed to be rebuilding, but as far as, there was only 8-9 players last year. So this year we're at 16. We're hoping to have between 22 and 25 next year. So part of that growth and getting the mindset is getting buy-in from your players, and I think we're approaching that. Our young kids they're getting better every day. It's one of those things to where Coach Reuter at Bradley does a great job. He gets kids. Kids are attracted to the program at Bradley. I was there, and I saw kids that would come just want to be a part of something special. When I was assistant coach there for a couple of years, when Britton Jackson was there, it was just so much fun. And when I was coaching the JV, there were lopsided games. So, East Hamilton is a great place to be. It's a level 5 reward school. We're starting to build that tradition here, and I think it starts with athletics. And then the academics and coming around is just a great atmosphere. That's why I love, being here as a teacher and a coach. Everybody's super supportive of each other. I love Mr. Eller. He does such a great job with the school and what he does with the environment and the community he's building here. So,
well, Coach, I appreciate it. Really insightful stuff. Before you go, your thoughts on this boys game? So far, this feels like an instant classic and a barn burner shaping up.
Well, that's what, last year we had a little bit of a downswing once, Coach Webb had to go do his duties with 3 kids. And, last year was a little bit of a down year for the boys program. But Coach Pride, I've known him for about 13, 14 years now. He has a college background. He knows the analytics of basketball, and he is a very, very good players coach. So you can see with the record being 14-3, where he's just turned the whole thing around. And that's why this crowd's here tonight, is you start to see people start to come in and they start to look in and see what's going on, what's happening there. And you can, it's just, I'm having to work in the concession stand because there's just so many people there buying everything out. So Coach Pryde's doing a really good job, really excited. The seniors have all bought in and they're really playing hard. We may not be the biggest team or the most skilled team, but these kids give 100% effort and they go out there and they play hard, and that's all you ask.
Coach, thanks for joining us. Really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Coach Baird for the girls basketball program at East Hamilton High School joining us in the booth at the half. 22-16 the lead in the hands of the Bears at the break. We'll return in just a moment. High School. We're in the student section here, home of the Hurricanes. Glad you're with us. The Bears, a big lead, 22-16 after one half of play. I'm Gabriel Fry. Glad you're along for the ride. Coach Andy Webb going to be joining us in just a moment for more of the great action in this second half. And the Bears were already back on the floor, getting warmed up. We saw some big first half performances, and I'm sure we'll see some really good shooting and some really good action as we go down the stretch. So let's take a look at some of the highlights, starting with the Canes getting down, streaking away. They had a couple of great long outlet feeds down the floor. They were able to kiss home off the glass. They're going to look to come up with more plays just like that. Breakaway plays, fast break points. Really, they need to find a way to do something defensively, and I think Andy Webb can drive home that point, analyze what's going on, and give you more in-depth insight into why Bradley carried that lead into the halftime break. But my impression is really just that Bradley Central was able to come out hot early, look good, score some points quickly, and that momentum is what carried them to a halftime lead. Would you agree?
I would, Gabe. I think that's right on. And, I think both point guards have done a great job of handling the pressure and getting downhill here. And you see the replay there just with Anderson's kick ahead. East Hamilton really wants to get out and run, but not to be repetitive, but Bradley's doing such a good job of finding their shooters at the half court and really not giving them a step. And then on the other end, you just see East Hamilton battling on the defensive end and applying the ball pressure of their own. So it's been a really, really competitive game.
Second half coming quickly. A couple of players did really, really well in that first half. Taking a look at East Hamilton's numbers, 5 points for Donovan Harris, 3 for Josiah Wiley, 2 for Haywood, 2 for Willingham, 2 for Jack Pendleton, and 2 for Hefner. On the other side of the floor, almost a dozen for Ramirian Taylor. He had 11, and we kept talking about how he looked unstoppable. 6 for Slovell and 5 for Caden Baldwin.
Yeah, and I think Stovall, he's one that I think Bradley's probably really going to try to get going down low here. I wouldn't be surprised to see him have a couple early possessions and Bradley punch it inside.
His sister, the tallest player on the girls' roster.
Yeah, she's quite a player. Quite a player. They both came down from Webb School in Nashville a couple years ago, and they're both just unbelievable players.
We were just talking about it. Is she an Arkansas commit? Is that right?
Number 11 for the girls is going to Arkansas, and I think Stovall, she's going to a major Division I.
Harmony is going to. You're right. Harmony is going to Arkansas. Yeah, 5 commits on that girls roster. Really impressive.
Yeah, and a big start there. Big 3 off the drive and kick. A room-to-room 3 to Ramirian Taylor to start. Catch and shoot. Really nice-looking shot there from Bradley.
(25-16), 30 seconds into our second half, and this one is sent off into the padding.
East Hamilton, some real nice movement out of the locker room. They cleared out a side for Miles Willingham to drive there. Nice defensive play by Bradley.
Coach, when you look at stats at the half, is it as simple as a broadcaster to look at it and say, hey, he's got 11 points, he's doing well? Or do you look at other numbers?
Yeah, we mainly looked at we wanted to build more possessions the other team. We wanted more shots, so that comes down to rebounding differential, offensive rebounding percentage, and turnovers differential. So we had a stat. Coach Hall did a great job over the years with iPad and making adjustments, helping me make adjustments at halftime, one of my assistant coaches. And it was all about what type of shots we were getting and how many shots we were getting versus our opponent.
East Hamilton finished that first half with 9 turnovers, 11 for the Bears of Bradley Central. East Hamilton also created 5 steals, and a lot of their points came off of fast break points. Harris pulled it in. Long feed to Josiah Wiley, who knifes his way to the baseline. Rotates it out front, and from the top of the paint, this one rolls over the front of the rim.
A great ball movement, right on cue there with your transition call, and Jack Pendleton with a nice feathery touch around the hoop. Nice baseline drift from Josiah Wiley as well. He rotated the help defense there.
Taylor with a spin and can't bust it. I like the move, though. That's a good look.
It's such a tough move. East Hamilton's really trying to work to get Caden Baldwin and Ramirian Taylor off their spots. Nice move.
Automatic from the baseline, gets it to go, and we're within 5 in Ottawa, Tennessee.
Hey, now we've been waiting for Peyton Harris, the senior, to get going. He had huge games for me as a sophomore. That guy can absolutely fill it up. He is instant offense.
Look at that play.
They're going to try to run him off the three-point line, and he's athletic enough to finish around the basket. He's a 2-sport athlete, heck of a baseball player, heck of a basketball player. His dad played in the minor leagues for baseball, and he's just it's genetic. He's a great athlete, and if they're going to run him off the line, he needs to do more of that. He needs to really apply pressure toward the rim.
Mid-range, yes, this one clatters off the glass and goes. Bank is open.
Boy, that's tough, isn't it, Gabe?
Yeah, you get a nice run going. You're starting to respond to a 3-possession deficit. And all of a sudden, it's 7 points again with 5:40 to go in the third.
Yeah, Ramirian Taylor's really been the answer tonight.
Blown tire. Taylor on the cue, all the way down the floor, and fouled as he tries to drive his way down inside.
Yeah, so East Hamilton, they come out of the locker room with a great game plan. They get moving on offense. They have 2 nice possessions where they swing the ball around the horn, get a basket, and both times Ramirian Taylor seems to be the answer for Bradley Central.
Taylor from the charity stripe to extend a 7-point lead to 8.
East Hamilton does seem to be playing more players and rotating a deeper bench right now than Bradley, so I wonder if that'll have any effect down the stretch here in the fourth quarter.
8-point game. East Hamilton yo-yoing the orange over the midcourt stripe.
Nice action there for Peyton Harris.
From just inside of the perimeter, he can't knock down the long 2.
Yeah, great action from East Hamilton right there to get Peyton Harris open in the corner. He didn't like the catch and shoot look and took a little bit tougher pull up off the bounce.
Wide open on the left wing. Yes, knocking that down from range is Caden Baldwin.
Great ball movement there from Bradley, and we'd call Caden Baldwin a 3-and-D player. He's so lengthy and such a great shooter, but he can do so much more. That was a great catch and shoot.
And that's the largest lead of the night for Bradley Central at nearly a dozen points, 31-20 with 4:48 to go in the third.
Yeah, unforced turnover there by East Hamilton. Here comes Donovan Harris into the game. Going to get the senior in here to settle him down a little bit.
It's nice to have those upper class presence on the floor and, hey, calm down, we got this. Let's slow down the run back and forth up the hardwood. Three ball just off the mark.
The last 2 years, or 2 years ago, my last year coaching as a sophomore, Donovan Harris and Peyton Harris and Anderson Dawson. They played such big minutes due to those injuries we had. We had 3 kids, Division I recruit basketball, Division I recruit football, lost basically our whole front court, and those guys came in and played a lot of valuable minutes and even started several games down the stretch.
Yeah, I was just talking to Keith, the athletic director of East Hamilton, about LeBou, and he ended up going on and playing in the collegiate level, right?
He did. He got a scholarship for football, and yes, he's still playing, and he was such a great two-sport athlete, and just, I mean, you talk about a kid that played from his freshman year on. He was the guy you look at and you think he's been there forever because he just played so many valuable minutes through his career.
Do you remember where he went?
Yeah, he went to school in Memphis, Bethel, for football.
Oh, excellent.
Went to Bethel.
Great school, great program.
Went to a very good school.
The Wildcats.
Yep, Bethel Wildcats. Hey, great effort play from Jack Pendleton to keep that ball alive, to give East Hamilton an extra possession here.
10-point margin. Hurricanes looking to cut into it. Long feed to Harris, way out by the midcourt stripe. Works his way to the perimeter. Wiley loses it for a moment. Now from the edge of the floor, this one rattles out.
Yeah, you saw the whole student section get up when Peyton Harris released that. That was probably the first open three Peyton Harris had all night. And it was still contested, but a pretty good open look for him.
Great passing clinic by the Bears, and he's wide open as he busts the three but can't knock it down.
East Hamilton's playing with fire, leaving Caden Baldwin open three-point line. Here we go. Peyton Harris, another look at it.
3.5 minutes in the third in a 10-point game as East Hamilton tries to pass that across to Harris. And I like the play defensively there. Tyrese Stovall just punches that ball off the floor.
Absolutely. You've got to give Bradley a ton of credit for how they're getting after it defensively. And I think you've got to give East Hamilton credit for how disciplined they've been on their shot selection tonight.
3.5 minutes to go in the third, a 10-point game. Bradley in control, 31-21 from Ottawa, Tennessee. Welcome back to Eller Arena. Mr. Eller is sitting right in front of our camera crew tonight. The principal of East Hamilton High School. I can tell he heard his name. He's looking around like he heard his name. I'm Gabriel Fry, Andy Webb with me. We're glad you're along for the ride for some prep basketball. It's been a really good game. Right now, Bradley Central pretty well in control. A 10-point game, 31-21. This is one of the lowest production games offensively for either of these teams this season. Andy, is it going to heat up? Are they going to start cooking with gas down the stretch?
I believe so. I think we're going to have a stretch here at some point to where maybe one, maybe two, maybe both teams make a run.
East Hamilton onto the floor on the wing. Harris, a lot of room, and he can't knock down the three. Too much on it. Harris distributes. East Hamilton does a nice job of creating an extra possession. This is Harris again in trouble as the ball skeeters over the baseline.
Yeah, I'll tell you, that underneath that bounce set The timeout for Coach Pride in East Hamilton got Peyton Harris a very good open look, and he just couldn't knock it down. He's used to hitting most of those.
Hurricanes a long ball onto the floor where Harris will run things. He doesn't keep it for long. Wiley didn't like it. And in trouble as the whistle going to give the ball to the Bears.
And East Hamilton, they have Jack Pendleton in as well right now. So you're looking at 3 shooters on the court and a point guard, two guards really, with Josiah Wiley and Donovan Harris that can break them down.
East Hamilton still in possession, 10-point game, 31-21. Hurricanes looking to inbound, and it's stolen. Nice intercept on the steal by Baldwin, who is battling it out with Wiley in the low paint and the whistle. What an awkward sequence. An intercept off the inbounding pass. He runs the floor, and then it looked like a collision in real time, but in that replay, it really did not look like that abrasive of a hit between the two. Either way, the ball goes with the Canes. East Hamilton, the green and white, all the way down the floor, and it rims out.
Donovan Harris with a great push and drive in transition, Gabe, and he just couldn't finish point blank. He's used to knocking those down.
I mean, this is wild to see this level of production. Look at how many points East Hamilton has scored in every outing this season. They're on pace for by far their lowest production game of the season. 73 in their opener, 51, 57, 74. They had an 87-point game against Brainerd and the Panthers, 67 against Eastridge, 64 against Ottawa. How do they get the lid off the basket?
Well, you took the words out of my mouth, Gabe. I was going to say it almost seems like there's a lid on the basket both sides right now. I think you just have to keep defending. Don't get caught putting your hand in the cookie jar and get a lot of cheap fouls to send Bradley to the line. You got to keep the flow here and just hope some of these shots go in.
And don't be mistaken, Bradley Central has averaged 63 points per game as well, so
Absolutely.
They're at less than half of their scoring average for the season as we're winding down the third period. Stolen out of the air. Bears some room. Backdoor fade. He's all alone. Flight number 1, you are cleared for takeoff.
Yeah, Caden Baldwin on transition there. Nice dish over to him. He really went upstairs on that one.
Jams it into the twine, and it makes the advantage a dozen points.
I think East Hamilton needs to get a great shot here. They need to slow this momentum down.
3-ball. Yes! Right on cue. He buries it from downtown Chattanooga.
There's a quick steal off the turnover. Bradley gets it back. I'll tell you, Jaden Hayward with a big shot from the junior.
Taylor tries the floater, regathered off the glass. It goes. Bank is open. Money for Tyrese Stovall.
Pace picking up a little bit now, Gabe. I'll tell you, this is really up and down. It's kind of hard to keep up with up here.
11-point ball game, 35-24, 90 seconds to play in our third. Canes, the green and white to the glass, and it's off. Bradley trying to get a fast break going and almost lost the ball. A couple of long balls down the floor as this one off the mark. It can't be jammed. And it goes over the baseline, but will stay with Bradley Central.
Stovall got way above the rim on that tip dunk attempt.
Great 3-ball, another look at that. He was wide open.
Yeah, huge shot, great kick out, huge shot. Big moment for the junior, Hollywood Haywood, to step up and knock that down.
Over the last 3 minutes of play, it's 4-4.
It's wild. It just seems so much faster here, but they're not going down.
That felt like 30 points.
It did. It really did.
That's the most exciting 4 points of my adult life.
Sometimes later in the season, I think things tighten up. I think with the effort, it's almost like a tournament game where you're just kind of grinding back and forth and looking for any edge in that run you talked about earlier, Gabe.
East Hamilton looking to find a way to put one together. Has a little space on the perimeter, kicked it back. Long 2, heavily contested. Loose and gathered on the baseline by the Bears. An outlet pass up the floor by Baldwin. All the way down into the paint, and it's waved off for the travel. He took an extra step. That's huge. Now that 4-4 was a mistake because they didn't count the full 3. That's the 3 I'm referencing right there. Absolutely knocked that down for the next county over. So it's 5-4 East Hamilton over the last almost 5 minutes of play.
And Bradley chases Donovan Harris top of that ball screen, which means they're worried about his three, so they're really pushing him into help defense at the rim.
Trying to shake defenders as he spins his way into the paint and draws the whistle.
You know, Jaden Haywood, he's really given East Hamilton a lift tonight. He comes in and he's just attacking the basket, knocks down the three, putting pressure on Bradley. You see Bradley, some of their bigs are on their knees right now. And as we talked about earlier, East Hamilton, they used a little bit deeper bench tonight than Bradley has. So it'll be interesting to see in the fourth here how Bradley holds up. They're so talented, but can they push through the late minutes here? This has been a very physical game tonight.
.29 seconds to go in this third period. A 10-point game as Harris at the charity stripe. No. Oh, and clatters and goes in. He caught me.
Shooter's roll. That was the reverse announcer jinx.
I guess. I'll take it for him. Bears shimmies his way onto the top of the post and can't drop it in on the floater. 20 seconds. Canes looking to run and gun. Here comes the green and white. East Hamilton from the corner. At the last second he was contested, but a big collision on the block and a whistle.
An off-ball foul there. Donovan Harris with a great kick to Jacob Hefner. Good look at it, and Donovan Harris goes down off the ball foul there. Hefner will knock a lot of those as well. Coach Pride keeps rotating in different shooters. I think it's a good strategy. I think he's trying to find the hot hand at this point. It's somebody to give him some momentum here because they've got a lot of shooters getting good looks in the second half, in my opinion.
Unbelievably low-scoring game for these two programs. It's actually wild. Shovel to the corner. Hurricanes out to the straightaway. Bulls lost. Bears pick it up off the boardwalk and shovel this down the floor. Wanted the long ball, and there's still 1.3 seconds on the clock in Ottawa, Tennessee.
I think Coach Carpenter's asking his point guard there why he released that a little too early. It's kind of hard to look up the clock sometimes. And
got a little nervous. 1 second. Gets it off in time. Looking for the full court buzzer beater on this third period, but instead we go to the 35-27 from the campus of East Hamilton High School. The Bears of Bradley Central in control. It's 35-26 as we enter our final period. It's a 9-point game between the Bears of Bradley Central High School and the Hurricanes of East Hamilton High School. Really, really close feeling matchup. It feels like this could still come right down to the wire. I'm Gabriel Schrei, Andy Webb here with me, and we're glad you're along for the ride and enjoying this one. Andy, what a good matchup.
Very physical game, hard-fought game. And I'll tell you, one thing I've noticed, Gabe, is besides just the tough play is I think the three-point ball in basketball has changed the game so much. It's a double-edged sword because the three-point percentage is very low tonight, but the teams are still shooting them, and they're getting good looks. But if those three balls go, this is a completely different score on the scoreboard both ways. It's just been, like you said, just a very uncharacteristic offensive output for either team, which you have to credit to the defense, but at the same time I think the three-point shot has just not fallen.
Just an odd offensive production night for two programs that are averaging right around 60 points per game. East Hamilton 7-1 at home, only one loss on this floor. Bradley is 4-3 on the road, both of them a dozen wins this season. Both 2 wins in district play, so this is huge. Wiley trying to go off the backboard, and it's taken away by Bradley Central. Bears looking for quick points down the floor. Alongside the block, spinning into the low paint, and he jams it home into the twine.
That is a tough move. Baseline spin, one-hand jam there, very tough move.
Big man, big play in Stovall.
That's exactly right. He has really good feet for a big.
Bears score first to make it an 7-point advantage again, and they've been in about that lead for a long time now, it feels like.
I think right now East Hamilton's got to hold it together. They've got it. There we go.
Whoa, it rims, it drains. 3 points on the board for the Canes, and they needed that.
Every time tonight we've talked about East Hamilton needing to make a play and stop a run. They really have. For a low-scoring game, they've had the answer here in the second half to not let this game get out of hand. They still have a very, very close game here with the score. Someone's got to take off here momentum-wise, but East Hamilton with a great answer there from Miles Willingham.
8-point game. Bradley Central is in control for the moment. This one at the half was a 6-point game, so they've increased that margin by 2 points since halftime. A whole period gone, burn off the clock. What do the Canes have to do to put that run together? We've been talking about the run since the half.
We really have. It's almost like a triple option football team here. I mean, you see on the scoreboard, you just referenced 8 points is not a lot, but the flow of the game, it does feel like a lot right now. So East Hamilton, I think they really have to get some stops defensively and push the pace. And then offensively, I mean, I feel like they're getting pretty good looks. Now, I will say the Bradley Bears are keeping East Hamilton off the offensive boards. And then there's not been a lot of second chance opportunities for East Hamilton in the second half to score. So I think there's a lot of pressure to hit that first initial shot. And sometimes that can tighten the rim up as a shooter if you know you're not getting it back if you miss.
I would say this. 8 points is a ton in this game because they had scored 26 to 3 quarters. That's 8.5 points per quarter.
That's a great
They
call.
need their quarter average and to hold them scoreless to come back and get on top of this. Right now, Bradley Central looks like they've got it in hand, but they have to keep playing consistently and keep East Hamilton off their rhythm and off their game.
Absolutely. East Hamilton comes out in a 1-2-1-1 press, look a little diamond press, tries to get a trap right off. Bradley handled the pressure pretty well. I think East Ham's content to drop down and guard in the half court now.
Hunter Fields gets it back down to the baseline. Bears in trouble. From the wing to the other. On the perimeter, being harassed. Nearly losing it. Bears, they're just happy to keep rotating, killing clock, and get really good looks.
Yeah, and East Hamilton doing a very good job at firing on the post of the double team. Here it comes from Jack Pendleton and making Bradley rotate the ball out.
Fields for 3, too much, but it's rebounded by the Bears, and they almost create that second chance right off the bat. The violation keeps the ball with them.
And Gabe, that's a coach killer right there for East Hamilton. I mean, Coach Pride comes out with a great rotation and fire at the post. The kids execute, and that just really, really gets a coach's blood pressure up when you have a great defensive possession and guard the ball as well as you can, and you don't come away with the defensive rebound. East Hamilton's got to box out and secure that rebound.
Looking for space. Couldn't find it right away. Bears drives just inside the perimeter and buries the long 2 ball. It's a 10-point game.
Again there, East Hamilton comes out with a great game plan. They lock them up, don't get the defensive rebound, give them a second chance opportunity, and Cade Baldwin hits just a tough shot.
So far, the Bears have outscored the Hurricanes 4-3 in this final quarter. Off the top of the backboard and out of play.
Great look from arguably the best shooter in the gym. Just couldn't go down. East Hamilton getting into the press here. Let's see if they can turn up a little pressure on Bradley.
Caden Baldwin will inbound, and Taylor standing nearby. Floated back by Ramirian. Baldwin running the floor. Pretty heavily defended by Willingham. From the baseline, a collision as Wiley is the one holding the ball, but the whistle stops us.
East Hamilton sending a very quick double team down if either Stovall or Caden Baldwin touch the ball, 23 or 1, they're sending a quick double at him on the post.
Bradley Central Bears onto the edge of the paint and from the mid-post, and 1. They needed that.
Yeah, Gabe, and that was just America's play, we call as coaches. You just go from an underneath out of bounds, 4-low set, and you screen block to block. You raise up, screen, try to get a seal, and East Hamilton was not able to stay underneath the basket, underneath the defender right there. You got to get a clean switch shoulder to shoulder to stay under the defender and push him out. That was just physical play from Bradley.
I don't want to offend you, but that doesn't seem like America's play in your book. I feel like you love run and gun, wide open, crazy basketball, which I do too, so I appreciate that. Yeah. Speaking of which, Wiley has some space, shoveled to the corner. The violation as he buries the 3.
You know, great play from Bradley there to set up for the charge. That is, you have to jump stop, right? And everybody in the gym except the ball handler saw it. Great job breaking down the defense from Josiah, but, man, we had a kick out, just got to stop, got to jump stop. Basic basketball fundamental there.
Bears have their pocket pick. The violation immediately called against Peyton Hunter.
And, Gabe, that was Peyton Harris's three-point corner shot to get him going, too. We needed that one.
East Hamilton has only scored 3 points in this final quarter so far.
Yeah, I look for them to turn up some pressure, try to create something off the defensive end, maybe a transition three or a good look in the paint.
Shovel to the corner, a lot of room, contested late, and he can't get it. Canes fighting for the Rockets, loose, picked up off the boards, and the whistle.
Yeah, before the game we spoke about turnovers and keeping Bradley off the glass. Bradley really down the stretch here. You expect him to tie out a little bit, not subbing as much, but boy, they have crashed the glass with relentless effort tonight.
At the charity stripe, Caden Baldwin. Law enforcement is harassing us on air.
I'll tell you, you can't get away from these guys. They got to get this place locked down. I turned around, Officer Soyer's right here beside me.
That makes it 42-29, a 13-point ball game with 5:07 to go in Ottawa. Baldwin looking to extend it to a 14-point advantage, 13 already the largest of the night. Tipped and loose, East Hamilton picks it up.
Nice
He
split.
splits the double team. Wide open on the right wing, this one off the mark. Bears to respond, running the floor, and he tried to ladle it over the top, but the putback does drop for Bradley Central as Ramirian Taylor chases it to the rack.
Another second chance effort there from Bradley. Great split of the trap there. You called it, Gabe, from Peyton Hunter. Had another good look at it, but long threes produce long rebounds, and that leads to transition.
43-29, inside of 5 minutes to play. We said this would be a barn burner, and even though the margin is the largest of the game, this does feel like a very, very good game of basketball. 44-29. Does it feel to you like it's too late for East Hamilton to make this one a down-to-the-wire finish?
I've seen much crazier things here, and in this gym as well. You know, I think that
I have too. From you.
You're at home and you've got shooters. In the game of basketball, 4:51 can be an eternity. And I'll tell you, you get a couple threes go here, turn up the press, and you can stop the ball and just maybe tighten Bradley up a little bit. But I'll tell you, the bigs for Bradley and Ramirian, the point guard chasing that down, you got to give them credit of how they've gotten on the offensive glass tonight. I think East Hamilton, they've just got to each check their man here and just kind of gut it out down the stretch.
Back underway. East Hamilton, green and white from mid-range, bounce, and it falls to the Bears of Bradley.
I think Bradley's size is really affecting East Hamilton on those mid-range jumpers. Bradley has collective length, Gabe. They're a very long team overall.
East Hamilton looking for fast break points, given off to Wiley, fights his way down low, and the violation down along the baseline. That's in favor of Bradley Central. I like the pass. Peyton Hunter was patient, even though they're on the fast break. Ice in his veins as he makes a last-second decision to go to Wiley. But Wiley catches the charge as he tries to go inside, and it didn't feel like he had another better option there. He had to try and finish the play offensively.
Absolutely. Great Euro step. It was very deep under the basket for a charge. It was hard to see from this angle, but that's a tough call.
Caden Baldwin, that's one you're not happy about if you're sitting on the bench, right?
Absolutely. There's my build here. I've got to say something positive now. I think they've done a great overall job, but that's a tough one.
My measure as a broadcaster for every sport is usually, do you feel like they're interrupting the flow of the game? And I would say tonight, no.
That's a great call.
Doesn't feel like it. Feels
Absolutely.
like we're playing fast. We're not stopping every 5 seconds. I haven't noticed them until now.
Absolutely.
To the corner, back to the wing.
Here comes the double team.
And that was a good look, but Fields, it just goes right over his head, and East Hamilton needs those extra possessions with 4 minutes to go.
Yeah, they do. You saw Peyton Hunter from the deep corner fired down on the post, so we call that a fire. They're going to double the post and got it out of Stovall's hands because Stovall's been pretty unstoppable in the block one-on-one tonight. Very good possession defensively by East Hamilton there.
The largest lead of the night for Bradley, 15 points with 4 to go. Canes from the baseline and one. Send him to the stripe.
Very strong move from Donovan Harris against bigger players there. That was a very strong move. He got into the Bradley defender's chest. And when you get in the center of the chest, it doesn't matter how high your vertical is, you can't jump.
There's another look at that play. Looking for the and one, and that's the first basket in 2 minutes for East Hamilton High School.
Boy, that was a big one too. You know, Donovan got downhill, as we talked about, and he just went straight into the defender. That's a big play.
East Hamilton has now scored 5 points in this final quarter, make it 6.
East Ham really needs a defensive turnover here on Bradley's side. They need to really turn this heat up in the press. Got a back tip opportunity there.
Pickpocketed, keeps it alive to Taylor. Ramirian splits the trap. Unbelievable. Bank is open. Cash that check.
Gabe, it looked like there was about 3 inches of space there, and he somehow spun in between them.
That was a really wild play. Canes looking to respond, and it rims out as we get the whistle on the baseline. You can feel everybody holding their breath as the Hurricanes get the call.
It came away with a block call there. It was a little delayed. Everybody's trying to figure it out, as you said.
Well, you know, I'm a big proponent, going back to judging all officials, I would always rather see, I don't care what sport it is. If it's an umpire, you're doing some softball, some baseball. If you're calling football and it's, you know, the umpire in that or the head referee, or if it's the baseline official here tonight, take that extra half a second and get it right.
That's a great point, Gabe. That's a great point. And, you know, I'll tell you, I mean, as nerve-wracking as it is for me to get up here in your world, you did such a great job on the microphone here.
You're cooking. You're cooking with gas right now. You don't get to leave.
I'll tell you, the referees, I mean, you talk about a packed gym making a call that could go either way to decide a game, that's tough.
You're going to be in trouble. They're going to have you doing this without me.
I'd never survive. Never survive.
46-33, a 13-point game, and the timeout by Coach Carpenter of the Bears. We'll keep it here and keep breaking this down. This one is a 13-point margin. It's tied for one of the largest of the night. We've seen a 13, 14, and 15-point lead for the Bears. Seemingly insurmountable, but we've seen a 9-point swing in the last 60 seconds result in an East Hamilton win just 2 seasons ago under your direction. You know, you don't want to lose faith in a team that's played so well and in such a good game. How do you keep this program and this roster motivated if you're coach on the sideline?
I think right now you're talking about just small goals, as we spoke about during the girls' game. I think you have to talk in 1 to 2 possession conversations right now in the timeout. The player's been on the court. You've got to give specific points. And on the specifics right now, you have to get a bucket. We always said we need 3 stops. We just need 3 stops. Turnover obviously helps. We need 3 stops in a row. If we can get 3 stops in a row, we can get back in this ball game.
East Hamilton's lowest scoring output of the season was at Tyner Academy way back on the 3rd of December. One of the only 2 games they lost, they scored 37 points. Other than that, their lowest total is 51. Ramirian Taylor running the floor for the Bears. Bradley Central all alone, Fields and the whistle. Bradley Central will take all that they can get down the stretch. You can tell they're still nervous. They're still trying to play very aggressive, up-tempo ball.
That's right, Gabe. This game's not over yet. Bradley knows that they're really trying to move the ball around. They get to the free throw line, and they're going to try to add this lead here.
Really enjoyed getting to catch up with Coach Reuter before the women's game. Coach Baird came and joined us at the half. Loved getting to talk to Eric Baird. And they've really built a nice thing on the girls' side.
Absolutely. Both those guys are terrific guys, and they've built, you know, obviously Coach Reuter's been here for a long time, multiple state championships, built a great program. Coach Baird did the same. He's really dealing with the program and building it right now where he is.
Shovel pass, hiding down on the other end of the floor, and he drops it home off the glass.
Oh, and he got him with the walk, the travel right here. Oh, boy.
That hurts.
That does, and I'll tell you, how rare is that to see on this level where
I can't
someone
believe it
is
worked.
down. Yeah,
I can't believe it worked.
Yeah, we snowbird down court on a free throw. No one picks him up. He must have stood in and blended in with the bench there with the white jerseys. We used to try to hide them. I'd stand up and try to hide the player, but boy, that was something.
They respond with a Hail Mary of their own and a little kiss off the glass for Amirian Taylor, who's on fire in Ottawa.
What a crazy sequence.
48-33, and that might have been the put-away bucket. East Hamilton needs their best run of the season to come back.
Yeah, it's a tough 4-point swing, isn't it?
Down low. 3-ball, no, off the heel of the iron.
Got to stop the basketball. Got to put a little pressure on the basketball here for East Hamilton.
Bears from the midcourt stripe. Battled to the edge of the perimeter, then back out to the front court. It's Fields. Heavily defended. Carpenter fired up. Taylor yo-yoing his way down to the bench.
Coach Pride's yelling at East Hamilton to rotate up. There's
Stolen. Canes, green and white, all alone. Yes! What a play. Free down the floor and gets it home.
Unbelievable play from an unbelievable athlete there.
Taylor responds emphatically. He's free, clear down the runway, and drops it home off the glass to put the margin back at 15.
Amirian Taylor the answer tonight.
50-35, less than 2 to go. Gaines, no.
That's right.
Violation down inside. East Hamilton will take as many of those as they can get in this late stage.
That's right. Stopping the clock right here for points is huge. And I'll tell you, I mean, I know East Hamilton's down, but what a spark. What kind of spark has Jaden Haywood been tonight?
You know, you never want to – oh, he's been amazing. He's been really amazing. You never want to count a team out late, and I'll tell you why. You know, I always – you start to talk about what's coming next when it's a big margin late. The other night, Reinhardt University was leading Tennessee Wesleyan University by 12 points. Tony Campbell got ejected, the head coach of the women's program. They gave them 6 free throws, and Tennessee Wesleyan in the final minute was able to cover the 12-point swing and force overtime. Now, Reinhardt won that game,
wow,
but they covered that swing and forced overtime, and pretty incredible stuff.
Yeah, you've seen so many things over the years, just the way the game just on just a dime just stops and shifts momentum. So hopefully we'll see a little bit of that tonight here.
Next for Bradley Central's Bears, who are leading heftily by 13 with 1:49 to go. They'll return home and play host to the Owls of Ottawa, the crosstown rivals of East Hamilton, who are also next up on the docket for the Hurricanes. Bradley then will travel to Howard Tech and play host to the Blue Raiders of Cleveland. East Hamilton has a similar look on their schedule. They're going to play host to Cleveland and the Blue Raiders coming up. Then they'll travel to Howard Tech and play host to the crosstown rivals, the Owls of Ottawa.
Yeah, in conference play here, every game, you just referenced it, Gabe. You have to, whether win or lose, you've got to really refocus the next day practicing, just get to that next game. It's basketball season. Every 2 or 3 days, you've got a big one right now.
There's no game. I shouldn't say that. Basketball is such a game of momentum. It's not game-to-game momentum. It's minute-to-minute momentum, and it's exciting and fast, and there's nothing like it.
I tell you, it can keep you up at night. I would go home and I would watch your broadcast because it was so great.
Sorry you had to hear that.
Well, it was great. I loved it. And then I would watch our game film, and we're not going to bed about 3 in the morning on Tuesday night on game days usually.
And that one's off the mark on the baseline. I like the look there by the Hurricanes, just trying to create some sort of lane. Couldn't get it going.
I wouldn't be surprised if East Hamilton gets a look at a 3 right here. Maybe a quick layup, but probably want to try to get a look at the 3, go down. Brad does a good job staying in their assignments. East Ham's got to get one up quick.
Hurricanes fire the 3-ball from the left wing. They get it to go. In the late stages, 1:24 to play.
Big shot, quick timeout from Coach Pride. That's a great job. Down 11 points here. Got to try to make 2 more big plays quick, and then you're right back in this thing.
51-40 with 1:24 to go at East Hamilton High School. Hitting the late ball, we'll keep it here and talk about, is there some way to crawl back in this situation?
Yeah, I think so. I think East Hamilton's really going to focus on maybe affronting everyone and just denial, full denial almost, or maybe three-quarters, and try to make Bradley at least throw it over the top. You got to try to get a quick steal in your area, but if not, you've got to make it a little bit wild here because you're kind of going for broke at this point. How about these two teams? I mean, this first game is quite the appetizer for them to play again during the season, and then how about in tournament?
Man, I just can't believe how well these two programs are playing tonight. Obviously, they're heating up down the stretch, which we thought might happen. We kind of felt that. This was the lowest production total of the season until midway through this final period, and they started to heat up a little bit.
Yeah, floodgates kind of opened here the last 2 minutes.
It was really on pace to be an abysmal scoreline. Violation, Coach Carpenter. Both coaches look upset. Nobody's very happy with that one. 72 seconds to go.
It is a lot happier place to be in the booth sometimes here. This is great.
You just get to sit up here and make jokes.
That's right.
This one at the line, yes, rustling the twine, and it makes it a 12-point advantage. And Bradley continues to be able to nurture that advantage.
Yeah, and East Ham looking at 5 to 4 team fouls here. If they can score a bucket, they've got to get a steal or a foul immediately. And now you're looking at the assistant coach, Gabe, and you're asking their assistant coach who that's their assignment, who is the non-free throw shooter I need to foul for Bradley? I've got to have 1 or 2 guys we can foul instantly if we don't get a steal.
70 seconds to play. It was a 6-point game at the half, 9-point game at the start of the final quarter, 13-point game now. In trouble, East Hamilton stays alive. Double team, got rid of it, straight away, long 3-ball, and it's off the heel of the iron as Bradley Central pulls it in. Bears can seal it all up with a big ball here. And trying to split through that, Baldwin takes a step. East Hamilton looking for a miracle. East Hamilton has won 9 straight, and it doesn't matter. Obviously, if you're a Bradley fan, you're going to disagree with this, but you hate to see that in local basketball. A great streak and a great program doing so well, have that come to an end.
Tough move from Donovan Harris there. You've got to get a quick steal here or foul. And, Bradley doing a good job of getting it into either Romarion Taylor's hand, 21, or getting into Cade Baldwin's hand, number 1. Those are the 2 guys that are experienced seniors that are just absolute scorers, and they're going to knock down free throws. So Bradley did a good job bringing those guys to the ball. East Ham really trying to take them away but couldn't, so got a quick foul there.
Some interesting schools in the top 20 for max preps in the country. I see Allen, Texas, Calvary Christian on there, St. John Bosco in Southern California.
Yeah,
Highlands on there.
Talking to Coach Carpenter before the game for Bradley, and he told me this is the toughest schedule that he has scheduled for a season. He said it really is a tough schedule. We played everywhere and everybody.
Well, these boys have done very well, both of these programs having really good years. From the corner, the 3 rattles out on East Hamilton. Still looking for those late points to make the scoreline a little more respectable.
Your head up, got a guy in the corner.
Kane shovel it to the left wing. East Hamilton down inside to the baseline, and a lot of contact as he tries to fight his way up and off the glass.
I'll tell you, I don't know if it's an off day or what tomorrow, light shooting, but both teams, I mean, you look at the starters still in the court, jersey soaked. I mean, these guys have gone at it all night. This pace and physicality has been an in-conference top-level game, so you've got to think these guys have to have a little rest tomorrow, maybe the next 2 days, very light to get ready for the next conference matchup. You have to win, right? It's just as important as this one.
Yeah, that's tough to play back-to-back like that in a quick turnaround, and I just can't imagine the energy it takes.
Yeah, and you've got East Hamilton has Cleveland High School, I believe, coming in this gym tomorrow night.
Yeah, tomorrow.
Cleveland High School has been a long-time rival of East Hamilton in conference.
Cleveland's so good, too. They've built a really nice program.
Yeah, and so that's you got to turn around off this game, top level, play a region opponent now. They used to be in our conference, but now Cleveland's in the region, and that's a tough turnaround. And this is the one you really want, right? But still, tomorrow you got to turn around and show up, and you got to fight and try to get back on the winning track. As you referenced earlier, Gabe, momentum in basketball is such a big deal. So tomorrow, that's the best thing with basketball. You got a chance to line up and win another one.
This rattles and pops out on the Bears. 13-point game, 9 seconds to go. So the Canes are going to fall at home after a really good showing by both of these programs. Anything beyond what you've already said about Cleveland tomorrow and the energy? Any final thoughts on tonight and what was a really good matchup?
I'll tell you it was, and it was just a fast game. The ball, the ball didn't always find the hoop, but you really had an up and down, exciting style of basketball to watch tonight. I'll tell you, that's a huge conference game, but these guys will see each other. I imagine I don't have the schedule in front of me, maybe in a couple weeks. And then you're sizing up and making adjustments for tournament.
February 11th, they play again 6 p.m. at Bradley Central High School. The rematch between these two programs, both boys and girls, will be at Bradley Central High School, and I'm sure that'll be a really good game in a similar environment to this, a packed gym, packed house.
Oh, yeah, it'll be packed as far as you can see at Bradley. And I'll tell you, it's really good to get that first one to your belt so you can make adjustments for that second game. You can really hone in on 2 or 3 key points tonight. And you tell me what you think, Gabe. I think the offensive rebounding for Bradley was huge tonight.
Hot start.
I mean, they were really attacked, and I think the ball pressure for really both teams was really nice. And I think you've got to find ways to attack ball pressure, as Bob Knight always said. You attack pressure toward the rim. I think you've got to find ways to get looks toward the rim off your offense and really negate the ball pressure. Both teams, I felt like the defense was a little bit ahead of the offense tonight, and it really affected the shooting.
Well, Bradley got out to a nice 3-point lead with 4 minutes to go in the second half. It had been cut down by East Hamilton. They pushed it back up to be almost a 10-point lead with 2 minutes to go in that first half. And then from there on, Bradley kept that margin and carried it down to the final wire. That'll do it for us from East Hamilton High School. Your final score tonight, 56-46. Bradley Central Bears win.
teams in action, we've got you covered. Stream live games and highlights on YouTube, Twitch, Amazon Fire TV, Stream TV, and more. For all the details, visit our How to Watch page at sesnsports.com. It's your one-stop guide to catching every play, every time, wherever you are. The Southeast Sports Network, bringing the game to you anytime, anywhere.
At the U.S. Center for Safe Sport, we see champions everywhere we look. In every sport, on every court, we're building a foundation to ensure all athletes are safe, supported, and strengthened. At the U.S. Center for Safe Sport, ending abuse is not just our job. It's our promise.
A truck is a tool, but a ram is life. Yeah, it's the wipe the sweat off your brow sort of life. But it's also the let's load up the ATV's life. The my kids play way too many sports life. The let's find a secret spot to fish life. That looks nice. Innovations, comforts, and powertrains built to power all the lives you live. Ram.
The most thrilling moments from your favorite local teams, only on the Southeast Sports Network. From jaw-dropping touchdowns to game-winning goals, we bring you all the highlights that make the Southeast the heart of sports. Don't miss out. Tune in anytime, anywhere, and relive the action like never before. The action lives on our YouTube channel, but you can watch highlights many different ways by visiting our website. The Southeast Sports Network, where every play matters.
The Southeast Sports Network, your free ticket to front row sports action. From heart-pounding football showdowns to thrilling basketball games, experience every moment live, all from the comfort of your home. Your favorite athletes, broadcast in real time and on demand. It's not just streaming, it's your front row ticket to the best of Southeastern sports. And the best part? It's absolutely free. Don't miss a moment of your favorite teams. Join us now at the Southeast Sports Network. The Southeast Sports Network, your front row ticket to live sports.
In life, things aren't scripted.
If you're an athlete, we need people like you and translate those skills to officiating.
You can get a lot out of it.
It happens in every town, in every game.
We never have a perfect game, but the rewards always outweigh the negativities.
My character, Shazam, knows all about growing up in a family full of teenage superheroes. They're bold.
Where's everyone going?
To fight crime.
Okay.
Adventurous. Shazam! There's never a dull moment. And no matter what happens, they'll always have your back. All they need is a place to grow and be themselves. And the best part is, you don't have to be a superhero to adopt a teen. Learn more about adopting a teen from foster care. Visit adoptuskids.org. You can't imagine the reward.
We are champions of character.
We're there to serve, make sure we're creating a fair atmosphere for both teams, upholding the integrity of the game.
I chose to be an official. It's the best decision I've made.
In life, things aren't scripted. Games aren't pre-scripted. You know, I got into officiating because my father was an official. Officiating was part of our family life. It wasn't just the game.
Get to be outside, get to like experience the game. It's so much more fun. You can get a lot out of it.
If you're an athlete, we need people like you and translate those skills to officiating.
It helped me become not only a better official, but a better person.
It happens in every town, in every game.
We never have a perfect game, but the rewards always outweigh the negativities.
And it's just been wonderful.
Hello, and thank you for joining us for today's broadcast. This broadcast is a product of Shry Media, LLC. Unauthorized use, sale, or redistribution of this media in any form is strictly prohibited without the express written consent of Shry Media. Radio and television mediums are encouraged to reach out. Thank you for tuning in.